I
we
think we
live?
should be
Oh my
talking
god, we're
about
live.
skating
Okay.
now.
You literally put us live so we couldn't talk about Doctor Who. Wow, that's rude.
So rude.
Well, it was time.
Okay,
Hello,
now I have to
everyone.
quote retweet again and tell everyone we're live.
Hi. People are coming
Hi.
in. Thank you
Hi,
so much for
everyone.
joining us.
I don't know if anyone's here. I'm
Say
hoping
hello.
at least someone is. Or I'll make us keep talking about Doctor Who.
Well, one person just left because we talked about Doctor Who.
No, that
I'm
was you.
sorry.
No, that was
you.
me. That was me. I left. So, do you want to get started? We don't have a lot of time.
Okay, I've told everyone we're announcing
Yeah.
some winners of fantasy skating, so hopefully they'll come.
1 second. Oh, we were not prepared for this.
Oh, we are. Well, I mean, we have not had as long to prepare for this as we did for Nebelhorn, so forgive us. We do have a little bit of presentation, but not nearly as much as we did last time. We had a whole day last time to prepare. We had half an hour.
I've prepared fantasy skating results in like 30 minutes.
Yes, you've done that well. I mean, I did help, but you've done that well.
If you're here, please stick around with some fantasy skating results because no one got the full amount of points for the mess that Skate America was, but it will be fun either way.
Or the mess that my groups are.
Yeah, I think you got one question asking us like, why does my fantasy skating team suck? And I don't have an answer for that.
My only answer is to look at the previews, look at scores, and try and make an educated guess. But it will never follow that because you never know what's ice is slippy. You never know what's going to happen. But yeah, my only recommendation is to 1, go with your heart. Oh dear, Amy. To 1, go with your heart, or 2, look at the preview for some clue of what people's general scores have looked like.
Yeah, there are a couple of flops that you can predict, but then overall it's just chaos and you just have to be lucky, I think.
Yeah.
Like, say for the group chat that we have for the Discord, which we have Patreon exclusive, which you can join our Patreon, I gave a couple of tips out to not pick the Crawfords because of her injury and the fact that they only just started training a month ago. And suggested people to not pick one of the women because she'd had a very bad result like 6 weeks ago or something.
Yeah, and I think by the end we can give some hints for next week. But that's next week. Let's talk about this week.
Let's talk about this week.
Let's start with women, right?
Yes, we're doing reverse order, so women. Yeah,
that is me. So in first place was Kaori Sakamoto. Reigning world champion Kaori Sakamoto. In second place was Isabella Vito, and in third place was Amber Glenn. A very hype ending to the women's event, I think.
Yeah, I do have some thoughts, but yeah, I'm extremely happy that in her 5th appearance, I think it was, Kaori has finally won Skate America. She deserves it. And Skate America goes very up and down for her. Sometimes it's been not the best. I'm so happy for Amber because she did not have the best start to her season. She's had a couple of bad competitions. And she really, really delivered this week and did so well.
Yeah, I think obviously after the short program, the scores were like within the 71 range for both Kaori and Isabeau. And so going into the free skate, it was very much if anyone makes a mistake, like it's really up to sort of those things. Kaori obviously won. She, I think, had a messy, I don't know if it was a sequence jump or a combination
double axel,
jump.
Triples toe, I think.
Yeah, so I was like, not the axle of all jumps. But I think
she was under-rotated on that.
Yeah, I think practice reports were like she hadn't had a steady practice with all of her jumps.
Axel or loop, and I was like, those are the best jumps.
Yeah, so I think it was just like great to see her win, and I think that last sort of quarter of the program, I'd say, just the crowd in Boston,
they really got
completely hyped her up, and it was so awesome to see.
Yeah, I do think. I mean, I know Isabeau messed up her opening combo, and I do think she was overscored at this competition. I do think she's adorable.
Her
She has great presence, her great spins and great presence on the ice.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you need to inflate her scores that much. Like the way she hunches in her jumps scares me, especially going forward for her future.
I feel like whenever I see them, I have to sit up a bit. Like, it's so bent over. I'm like, oh god, I should sit up straighter.
Yeah, it does concern me. And while she is a great performer and has great spins and great elements, I don't think that was the score that she should have got.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Her edges, like I saw some people that I follow on Twitter saying that her speed and her depth of edges like do not compare in person to what we see on the screen. And they are impressive that what we see on the screen. So yeah, I'm like just in awe whenever I watch her. The Boston crowd was amazing. Shout out to everyone at Skate America because they hyped up like everyone. And it was really cool to see.
The way they cheered on the Ukrainian dance team, I loved as well. I thought that was really sweet.
I want to talk a bit about Gracie.
Yep.
And her skate this weekend because this is her first like proper Grand Prix. I think she did the 2021, which was like a domestic competition.
Yeah.
So it doesn't count. But this is her first proper Grand Prix. Competing in the short and free in a very long time. It was so awesome to see her sort of take that next step. And like from the past year or season or so, she when she maybe falls in the short, everything else just. What are you laughing at? I don't know.
There was a really funny comment that said that Boston is making a lot of money in parking this weekend. I saw somebody complaining about that the extortionate parking fees.
Oh my god!
Sorry, we didn't want to interrupt you.
Well, like everyone before the event started, I saw people going, "I'm gonna have to take an Uber there," and I live around this area and I can't afford to park there.
Oh my god!
Apparently, it's that bad.
But yeah, Gracie was just phenomenal this weekend, and it's so great to see her
like the oldest woman to land a triple Lutz, triple toe, and she did it twice in competition.
Oh my god!
Which is kind of sad because she's only 27.
Oh my god! So both that and the pricing, that is ridiculous.
Why? And then they don't let you take anything in. I saw the rules. Like, you couldn't take anything in with you.
That is no pressure, but there are 21 people watching.
That's terrifying.
It was a 25.
Like 600 people watched the live stream after we'd done it last time, so I guess it's not as terrifying.
Thank you, everyone that's tuning in right now, and please subscribe if you would like to. It means a lot to us.
We could mention this now. We can also mention this in Ice Dance. Is there a Phantom of the Opera curse this year?
Yes. I don't know. We're still early on.
Too early, maybe. But there was a year, I think it was 2018-19, where there's a Carmen curse. There was definitely a Carmen curse. I hold firm there was a Carmen curse. So I'm worried there's a Poto curse this year.
Yeah. I don't know if the rain is picking up in my microphone, but it is raining very heavily right now. That is absolutely fine. I'm very conscious of it right now.
We had heavy rain earlier as well. It's all good.
Oh yeah, we will get to that.
We'll get to that. We'll be on Ice Dance next. Should we move over to Ice Dance? Do we have anything
else? I think we have lots to say about Ice Dance.
I think we should.
We do have a lot to say about Ice Dance, so we should probably move on to it. Okay, so gold was well, we'll announce them first. Gold was Madison Chock and Evan Bates. Silver was Kaylin Hawaii and Johnny Baker. And bronze was Marie Jade, Loyo, and Roman Lagac.
Well, things happened in Ice Dance. I
did tease that we had thoughts. Particularly, I have thoughts.
First of all, Hawaii and Baker, in my opinion, should have won. Yep. They were robbed of winning.
The best I've ever seen them look, ever.
Oh my gosh. I don't think they've looked so good, like this early on in the season before.
No,
Jean-Luc, every time I saw him skate, I was like,
you were
this
like
man
gasping.
can skate. It was so word choice. Thank you, Evelyn. Yeah.
She's in her
Wyke
Coyote
and
era.
Baker. Wyke and Baker were robbed of the win, in my opinion. And the fact that the point was like, I can't remember what it was.
I don't know if you can see my eyebrows moving. Okay. Do you want to bring up the first protocol?
Yes, please.
Okay. Madison Chock and Evan Bates' choreo character step was invalidated. Had that not been invalidated, they would have won the free skate. They shouldn't have won the free skate, even if that had been valid. I don't know if they were nervous because they haven't performed yet this season, or maybe there's been an injury or something. It was very cautious. Things were going a little bit wrong. That was not a level 4 twizzle that Evan had in that program. Despite what the tip panel says.
They talked a lot beforehand about sort of taking a lot of time off and not being prepared enough, and I think that was,
I think it showed,
obvious. And first competition nerves. They haven't done a challenge or anything. It happens.
No, exactly. So you can understand why it was not perfect, but then why were they scored higher than a team that was like ridiculously good?
I think also to note, in the rhythm dance, their lift did not go to plan. Their lift, Evan did something different on the entry and like almost dropped on the entry or something. I looked away when this happened, and a couple of people who were at Boston this weekend messaged me saying that the lift went wrong, and that's she's supposed to be on his shoulders, I think, and that's why the position was weird. Their level got ducked 1, I think.
I can't remember what it was in the
but
rhythm dance.
Yeah, it was the judges watch practices. They know that lift was different and wrong.
And the PCS were too high for that free dance because it wasn't clean. It's just my opinion. And then we'll move on to Lois Legac's
Wait,
mess of a protocol, shall we?
I think Evelyn asked why the character step was invalidated.
Yeah.
I think it's because they weren't in line with like the board. You're supposed to go from
you're
the
supposed
short
to be
axis,
certain space as well from the
and you can only go too far.
They were too far away from the boards, maybe.
Yeah.
We have figured out, we think, why Lois Legac's mess of a protocol exists, why there's that whole invalidated choreo character step thing. So in the rules, if you want to switch to the other slide, it says, if a couple performs a lift within a choreographic step sequence or choreographic rhythm sequence, what is the action taken by the panel? The lift will be treated as an extra element and will receive an abbreviation XL. It indicates that the element receives no value. The deduction is 1 applied, and it will occupy a separate box and not count as a required element, i.e. that. So assuming what they did in the choreo character step was counting as a lift. So it was probably supposed to be like a transitional thing, because you have like little transitional lifts in the choreo character step like all the time. But it was probably too long. And so that invalidated the whole sequence. That also makes sense as to why the combo lift that came afterwards was not immediately registering on the tech box and was considered invalidated at the time and then brought back later, because if they thought there were too many lifts in the program, then that would, invalidate a combo lift coming after. That would be 4 lifts rather than, 2 in a combo. So yeah, that's why immediately when the tech was low, they weren't showing the combo lift, because they were counting a lift inside the character step sequence, if that makes sense, if I explained
that was a very good explanation, I think.
Thank you.
And we'd love to say stuff for definite. However, they
never explain this stuff. We just have to make it up as we go.
But we are also geo-blocked, so we cannot go back and rewatch any skates. Thank you.
We can't watch anything.
Yeah. It's annoying and a shame.
We can get into that as well, or we can save it for the end.
I mean,
if we're reverse ordering, is it men's next?
Yes. Yes,
Oh,
it's
that's
perfect.
my part.
That's
I'm gonna
Elli's part.
destroy all of these names. I also close the list. So somebody has to help me out because I don't have the list anymore.
Here you go.
Yeah.
We're so good at this.
I don't have the list anymore. And I didn't watch anything because I couldn't get it to work. So somebody has to say the first one, please.
Okay. Do you want me just to read them all out?
You just do it, Sarah.
Okay. So in first place was Ilya Malinin. In second place was Cal Miura. And in third place was John Wan Chow.
Perfect. Thank you so much for helping me out.
You're welcome.
So I just find it hilarious that the 2 times Ilya has done the quad axel, you've been asleep.
I had a headache. I went to sleep. I was like, okay, this is going to be fine. Wake up. He did the quad axel again, of course.
And even better.
I think if I'm ever awake for a program of his and he doesn't do it, then I'm the problem.
I think you should be asleep every time now. I think that's a requirement for us.
Mini nap.
Wait, what's his next event? Is it one where you're awake, or is it like NHK?
He has got. I've got the list up. I had the list up. Oh, he's got Finland. So.
Oh, you'll be awake for that.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, he was.
The audience was incredible. Like, it was so weird to see it, and like they cheered for so long afterwards. I've never seen anything like that. Like with the first element of a program, usually like you get cheers towards the end of a program that go on for ages, but like to have like a 30-second applause from a crowd like at the beginning of a program is so strange to hear.
I saw, I think it was Na's video of it, and
I've seen that,
her point of view with it, and it was just amazing. It captured the crowd so well. So yeah, Ilya was in 4th after the short program. Obviously, a comeback I think people were expecting, but
yeah, I mean, if he delivers
it's
that
the men's
high
event,
content,
you can't guarantee it.
To be fair, it wasn't a massive gap between him and Cal. Like Kim and Cal had a good, considering they've both just come up from junior to senior, like properly. I know they've done like other competitions as well, but this is their first like full senior year. It was amazing to see what an intense battle it was, because I think a lot of people went in just assuming Ilya would win, and yes, he did, but it was a close battle.
Yeah. I really enjoyed his short program, Cal's short program. I slept through the entire free skate. My apologies.
It was good.
I had a headache.
Beauty and the Beast. It was good. He's so chaotic in like the best way.
Did the men again? Was it a manning or not?
A little bit. I think they were a little bit cleaner in the free. Some
We've
of them
had
suffered.
worse.
Donovan didn't do great, which was a real shame.
Aww.
Yeah, he had like a lot of stumbles.
I saw Mikhail dropped from like.
Oh, Mikhail! I think he fell on every quad he tried. It was like the other competition. Was it Nebelhorn?
Oh, no.
Or was it
That's
one of the others?
I think he's still like finding his feet a bit.
I think he grew a bit over the summer, and I think it's thrown his equilibrium off.
Yeah. But I want to take a moment for John's programs, his short program specifically. It was a whole moment.
Oh yeah, I mean Bond was great as well. I mean he wasn't entirely clean, but Bond is also great for him. Like he's really settled into those programs, and he's really making the most of them.
Yeah, I just love the like whole package of the short program. I think he might have one of the best combinations of programs, so far at least, with the short and the free. Yeah.
Any other highlights? Wesley, I would just wanted to say, did a really great job. He had not the best start to his season, and he really pulled it together for this competition. And I think he finished 6th, or maybe I can't remember if it was lower than that. I can't remember. He did really well though. But yeah,
I'm a big fan of his short program. I'm glad he brought it back. I hope he can
do
have
think
like
there's a lot of people comparing him to
skate.
Vincent Joe, and I don't honestly see much similarity. I think because he's doing Vincent and he did Vincent, people are kind of finding a comparison that's not entirely accurate.
Yeah, I definitely preferred Wesley's interpretation of the music.
Yeah.
I think he is a slightly more naturally artistic skater. It's just when the quad, he's going for that quad in the short program, and obviously it was hit or miss in the free anyway, and hopefully he can just sort of find a good balance with it at some point.
Yeah,
I think he has
it was a really
the
good
French
thing.
Grand
I
Prix
know
next.
he and Liam both have the same coaches, and it was really interesting to see them both at the same competition, and how much more improved they've become over the settled into their programs after a few competitions.
I would like your thoughts on Roman's new free program, please.
Oh yeah, because you didn't see it.
Nope, and I know it's Robbie Williams.
I mostly really liked it. I mean, the first minute of it, he was flawless, and it was so good. And then it started to do kind of what happens with Romsky sometimes, and it unravels a bit and things start going wrong. So you don't get a full, proper interpretation of what it's supposed to look like. But it's down the same avenue as what he usually picks. Like, he picks a lot of kind of ballady, kind of emotional stuff. I would like to see him venture into something different, but I did like it.
Do you think that Robbie Williams is to get the British crowd at Sheffield?
That would be really funny if that it's funny because obviously it's a bit edited. Like, I think it's Maxime Rodriguez who's done the editing around it. It starts kind of very orchestral. You don't immediately twig that it's Angels by Robbie Williams until the music comes, the vocals come in. So it kind of sounds, it's very Beethoven-y, because that's mixed with it. It's very Beethoven-y at the beginning. But yeah, I think once the crowd hears the Robbie Williams vocals in Sheffield, their interest will suddenly peak and they'll be like, "Ooh," because it's just so British.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to find protocols. Yeah, that was an unfortunate short, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Sheffield's going to be hyped for him.
Oh yeah, they should be.
We can talk about pairs, yeah.
Yeah.
We're storming through this.
We are.
I have fantasy skating. I can talk about fantasy skating for 30 minutes.
Plus, we didn't get to do the explanation of how it came to fruition last time, so we could do that.
Yes.
And also, any questions people have at the end, we're here for
I have some questions.
So yeah, pairs. First was Alexa Nerum and Brandon Fraser. Second was Diana Stellato-Dudek and Maxime Deschamps. And third was Kellyanne Laureen and Lucas Ethia.
Okay. Diana robbed, first of all.
There were a lot of flaws level-wise.
There were flaws in both.
With that free.
But I think Alexa and Brendan were slightly boosted too much.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, it's
for
Skate America. Free. I mean, you come to expect it. I think I'm so confused by the death spiral choice for Deanna and Maxime. I wish I knew why.
It's a choice.
But it got level 1.
I feel like she said at some point that is her favorite death spiral.
But it got a level 1.
Yeah, I think that needs to be reworked.
If you'd have got that higher, you could have been potentially winning.
I think that needs to be reworked. It's such an interesting position.
Yeah, and I think they had the doubles, which maybe he was struggling with the jump because he's not the most consistent jumper. So I assume it was planned because they both did it. But maybe that was an issue. If those two things and maybe the lift at the end going right, easily could have won that, easily. But yeah, I think there were just too many flaws. to overcompensate for what Alexa and Brandon were going to get from the judges.
I enjoyed their Alexa and Brandon short program.
Yeah, I have never watched Stranger Things. That is a confession I will make.
Never.
I know I've never watched Stranger Things.
Okay.
So
Even Sarah has seen it, and she sees like 5 things per year.
I've seen Game of Thrones at least.
No.
Exactly.
What are you guys doing with your free time? Watching skating? Okay,
Watching skating.
Sorry.
But yeah, I thought it was like a good program, and it encapsulated, because I know all about Stranger Things. Obviously, I just never watched it. But yeah, encapsulated the theme well.
I think the was it the choreo step in the short program? Step sequence in the short program.
Step sequence, yeah, I think.
Messy.
Oh yeah, they got too high of a score on that, because I felt like Alexa lost it a little bit at some point, and yeah, I thought they were too highly scored on that step sequence.
Yeah, it was like the camera had to zoom out so far to get both of them in the shot at one point. Yeah, that was just a bit messy. However, Sinead and John Kerr did choreograph their free program.
Oh yes, I forgot about that.
I would like to watch it when the audio stream doesn't overlap twice and you're confused.
Yeah,
like,
that was
where it was
a
going.
bit of a problem.
But I will absolutely take that to be able to watch skating. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that when there's no like audio issues, basically.
This is a very good question.
Maybe
we should interview them
a little bit about that in the press conference.
Have you
Because I saw a thing of Jason asked them a question or something about what would be the song that would save them, and Alexa basically said, didn't answer that, but like kind of spoke about their process in the choreography or whatever. Like she goes into his world, into his portal or something. I don't know if either of them are that neural.
So maybe we will talk about it next week if we find an answer to it.
Also, round of applause for Kellyanne and Lucas in their first ever Grand Prix, getting the bronze medal.
Yes,
they did a great job. They haven't. Obviously, that's like their first big senior competition, because COVID kind of, I think, interrupted their progress a lot. They didn't get sent out for any events. It's been a couple of years since they were juniors.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did nationals last year. But yeah, they haven't been able to get out on the circuit, or to get Canada hasn't put them out on the circuit, one or the other.
Yeah, I think we need more answers.
I think Elli, as the resident Stranger Things fan, you will need to watch this and give your thoughts.
Watch this. I will ask them if I have to. I will DM them, and then we will get the answers.
They have Sheffield Grand Prix.
Oh,
so we have like 3 weeks to find the answer.
Or we will ask them there.
Well, maybe.
I
won't say anything else.
No, yeah, we'll keep that.
I would also like to say the German team, I was rooting for them.
Oh my god, it's terrifying.
I was rooting for them for a surprise medal, maybe. They were on the right path. And then they had a fall in a lift. And it was like scary. And he was trying to dismount her. And then they crashed into the boards.
It happened safely.
And
then they recovered well until the last lift, where he was like spinning so far out of the center of gravity, he nearly. Oh, it was just so scary to watch.
This is why I didn't watch Pairs.
It's so terrifying. I was, by the way, wooing for Germany, not for the fall.
Yes.
Like be clear on that.
You can't hear the rain in my background, can you?
So it's raining in the UK, I think.
Yeah, you can't hear it, can you?
No, maybe a little bit, but it's okay.
But yeah, that was terrifying. The Italians, I think, for being together for like their second season, really rooting for them. Because I think they have a lot of potential, that they're just trying to figure out themselves as a team still. But I think they have a good future.
Also, like the fact that like I shouldn't like their programs, but I do. Like they have a La La Land short, which for the most part I am completely sick of, but I think they sell it really well. And then they have like a mix of the two different Chasing Cars, one cover and the original, for their free, which again should, kind of, it shouldn't work, but I still think they're very cute and I like it when they do it.
Yeah.
I think that's about it for pairs. Should we answer some questions that we received?
I have some on the Instagram.
Please.
So the first one I have was, how do you come up with a fantasy skating group?
Maybe we should switch that before we talk about fantasy skating.
Are we not just, there's like 2 other questions.
Okay.
How
does Lois come up with
I think one of them is, what is Elli drinking? So she can talk about what she's drinking.
I think I was asked in here as well.
I think Evelyn wants to know what I'm drinking. I'm here for the technical support and to get drunk. That's but not drunk, but to enjoy myself. And this is Lillet and Wildberry. It's a very nice mix. Very simple cocktail.
This is Evian water. We are not sponsored by Evian. It would be nice if we were sponsored by Evian, but we're not.
And I had a cup of tea because it's cold.
I'm just happy I got a question I can answer.
As she wants to know what's your drink of choice.
I mean, today it's this.
Sorry, I'm laughing at the meme.
Which meme?
Negroni.
The Negroni meme.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to do that joke, but then I thought nobody would get it.
Negroni.
The Negroni. Yeah, the choice, well, it changes. Stay tuned for next week. Last week, for Nebelhorn, I think it was wine. Let's see what it's next week.
Next question. What's your most controversial opinion of the event? I feel like we slightly covered.
Yeah, the Chocolate Bates winning, in my opinion, shouldn't have happened.
How controversial is it? I saw some tweets.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure some people agree with us. I also think with all the mistakes, the mistakes that were being made, I don't know what the difference was at the end, but I would have potentially had Lois and Theo in third over Laurie.
I agree. I don't think that's controversial though.
Not in our circles.
I agree, and I saw a lot of people say the same thing. I think they also got some new fans at the event, which was very cute.
That's great, because we've been a fan of them since they were tiny juniors.
Exactly, and it's so great to see like other people joining it. Villard.
We love Villard.
We do. Favorite rhythm dance. I would like to pick.
Cut and a Die.
Why are you taking it? Yes.
No, you can take. I knew you were going to pick Cut and a Die. That's why I said
it. Then I thought you were picking yours. Yeah. Kana Muramoto and Daisuke Takahashi. I love both of their programs. They have my favorite rhythm dance of this event for sure.
Yeah. I also really like Holub Silver Bielobrovs because I think it stands out amongst the field. I love that they've got like pastel colored clothing and everything, like costumes. I think it's like it really stands out amongst the rest of the groups. And yeah, they've really like tried to progress their skills since they've been working with IAM over the summer.
Yeah, I love.
There's no point asking Elli; she didn't watch it.
I was busy with fantasy skating. That's my task this week.
Is that the
speaking of? Segue? Is that the transition into?
No, we still have some questions here. I think.
Do we?
Do you have more?
Yeah, I have more. Yes.
Oh, you have more.
Top 3 skates this weekend. I think we should do like overall, or out of all of them.
John Short.
I wasn't prepared for this. Yes, I agree.
You can do it combined. That's fine.
Kaori's free.
Yes, I enjoy her short as well.
I do as well, but I think the free is a bit more my style of music than the short.
Deanna and Maxim's short.
Short, yes. Okay, yeah, I agree with that.
Sarah's about to make it 4.
Yeah, that could just be the 3.
Yeah,
I
we'll
think we
stick with
agree on all
those for
3
the
of them.
3.
I love that we
I
didn't
think
pick
3 is
any
good.
ice dance, despite ice dance is our favourite discipline.
Well, that's an accident. Best costume. Ooh.
We should have prepared pictures for this.
I think it was a new dress. I liked Gracie's free, the blue.
Yes,
That was nice.
The shade of green in her short program dress was gorgeous.
Yeah.
I have completely blanked on everyone's costumes.
Oh, I was mentioning it at the time. I really like Aliska's Mask of Zorro outfit.
Oh yeah, you did say that. Yeah. And
we've mentioned Theola Mercer's.
Yeah, he always
mesh.
He never goes just plain boring with his costumes. He always tries to match it with Louisia's dress.
We do see we see a lot of mesh in men sometimes in ice dance, but that was very differently styled. It was a very different cut.
Yeah. I agree.
And yes, I mean Team Korea always wins with dresses. Always.
Yes.
Best costumes in the world.
I agree.
Hey, we have one more question from Evelyn. It's a surprise. Which I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know how to answer this one.
If you could choose a new genre a skater could skate to, what would you choose? Okay, this is for the Twitter crowd.
Is this the Roman?
Yes. Stop being in my brain. Roman Carmen.
Yeah.
Because I think Twitter would lose its mind.
I also think he could pull it off because we watched Misha do it a few years back, and I really loved his Carmen. It never was perfectly performed because it was right as he was having his sinusitis issues. But I really loved that program for him, and I think Roman could deliver it in a similar way.
If I'm trying to think of the most obvious sort of person that sticks to the same sort of genre, I think that's Roman mostly. I'm not against it, by the way. If no one send this to him, he would. I really believe. I think everyone's got an angsty side to them.
We didn't mention them in pairs, but they were one of our highlights. The Mokova siblings.
Yes. Oh my god.
I would like to see Roman do that music. That Malagueña kind of thing.
The Mokov siblings. They have some of my favorite choreography in pairs in skating this season. This is a formal request for their choreographers to do more choreography for more skaters, please.
Please.
Their short program
great programs. They just don't have they didn't have the skill level yet to convince them at all.
They're not there yet. They're building still.
Yeah,
I think
they're still working on things, but so they couldn't quite execute it as the vision intends to be. But you could see how good the choreography is.
They have another Grand Prix now, I believe.
France, I think.
Yeah, they are getting those more and more international opportunities. So I think that can hopefully help with their confidence and help with their skills. She is still very young. I think she's 16, young, yeah. The sister. But yeah, I'm very, very excited for them and hopefully get to see them develop a lot more and see more of those fantastic choreography.
That's
basically.
One thing that has been great about this year is that even though the pairs field has been absolutely decimated, you're seeing new teams that have been in the shadows or just been stuck domestically finally getting to go out and experience international competition, and that's wonderful to see and succeed is great. I mean, the rhythm dance is quirky because it's 50s style Latin. It's supposed to be based on sitcoms or whatever of the 50s or something. So the rhythm dance is definitely one of the quirkiest of the season. I'm not completely won over by the music of their free dance yet. I did like it a lot more this time than the first time I saw it. just because they executed it so well. It completely won me over. I do kind of find it in a similar vein to their Heart of Glass program, but I liked the Heart of Glass music more. So yeah, I think they're trying to go down the right avenue to try and bring their scores up to be the highest competitive level. But yeah, it's not currently my favorite music choice.
So I think we should now move on to the moment everybody's been
Fantasy
waiting for.
skating.
Fantasy skating. Shall we
know
start
everything.
with the question?
Do you want to do the question that I can answer?
Yes.
Lois, how do you come up with the fantasy skating groups?
Okay, so what I will first of all do is, because every week for every competition, every Junior Grand Prix, every Grand Prix, every Challenger, every Championship, I will do a preview. So I will work on my preview. I will see the scores, and for the Grand Prix, I do a score from last year and a score from this year if they have a score from this year by now. And I will compare that. And I won't do it like mathematically. Some of those things I do mathematically, but this I don't. I will look at the comparison scores and I will see what the differentials are from each team, and I will determine these are the top ones, these are the middle tiers, and these are the bottom ones. It doesn't necessarily follow that way, because I think I had Lucia and Theo in group 4 and they ended up 4th. And I think that happened in some other events as well. But yeah, just because sometimes people rise to the challenge of a Grand Prix, some people end up lowballed at a Grand Prix, depending on which federation you're from. Or
I think it's always interesting to see how you group them and then where they end up. It's always like,
it sometimes ends up very chaotic. Like it was sensical to me to have, say, group 1 be John, Daniel, Ilya, because Ilya is like the up and comer and he has the tech. John won 4 continents, did really well at the Olympics, blah blah blah. Daniel came on the podium on Europeans, etc., etc. Those were the top tier for me. And then you had Cow in the second group. Obviously, he ended up coming second, which is definitely like a rise that you can see happening. But that's not necessarily where you would originally, because he could potentially flop. So he's not got that consistent result yet that would necessarily put him in the top tier. Next time in his Grand Prix, he might be at the top tier because he came second. So we'll see.
So it's a very dynamic thing that's happening.
Yeah, so I'll do the preview, I'll decide the groups, then I'll send the groups to Elli, and she'll be fixing it all up.
And then the magic happens, which meant that I had to put it together in 2 days, because every single year I think something goes wrong. Every time we publish it, something goes wrong and we freak out.
Yeah, we thought we were home free this time, and then we had the time zone issue.
Everything went so smoothly, I don't know why.
And then we had like the plan was to like have it automatically close at like the time the competition started. It may have closed a few hours early. Oops.
I think so, yeah. But people notice, and then we open it again, and then it automatically closed again.
And then it closed again.
But now we know our time zone. Apparently, our website is running on Iceland time zone.
For now, until the clock's changed. I think it's running on GMT.
Iceland, yeah, I said that.
For now.
So yeah, I think my favorite part is always seeing the names everybody comes up with. So we
all picked
some of our favorites.
A favorite name each this week. We'll do that every week.
Yes.
But yeah, do you want to? Yeah. So that was mine. Junior Ice Stars did it better. It's not my name, but it's my choice. Junior Ice Stars did it better because Junior Ice Stars is the most superior skating discipline. It's just the best. I love it. It's the best.
Pear's funeral director was mine, because when I first saw it submitted, I laughed so hard. And it feels very accurate to what's going on.
And I picked half agony, half hope, because that's what I've been doing for the past week. I was setting up fantasy skating and I was in pain, but also hopeful, very hopeful. I didn't sleep a lot. I think there was a day where I didn't sleep at all. But
you did a great job.
But we're very grateful for you.
And I mean, we are always so grateful when people enter. I think like almost 600 people entered this time, which is very exciting. And I think I can say that we have some results I can share
We
with the
do.
people.
We do have some of the results, the top people for the week.
So let's see. Skate America Men, the highest score you could achieve is 1018. Those are the group winners. And yeah, 2, 4, 6, 7. Is that 7? 7
I don't
people.
even remember. But I do know that I did not get 2 of those right. I got Ilya and Cal right. I did not get Liam and Wesley right.
I think I picked Ilya. I think I picked Wesley. I don't
How
remember.
did you feel about
I picked
those?
Donovan. I know I picked Donovan. I had hope in my heart.
How
I
did
would
you
like to.
feel about the results? Like, is it surprising? I mean, we talked about Carl already, that he ended up in.
I wouldn't say it's not surprising. I'd say they overachieved what was expected of them.
I think this was also the group where they were the least winners, so I think it was a bit. Either
I think a
everybody
lot
just
of
picked their
lot of
fave.
people picked Donovan.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, let's look at pairs. We had a bunch of people win pairs.
And there's less groups, so I think there's less way to get it wrong.
Yeah.
Well, you can't say that. Like a majority of people.
You can't really say that because we did not get it right.
Oh no,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think I did. I
think you're
Well,
not in. Yeah.
Is your name here?
No, it's probably not. No, it's not.
No,
To be
it's
honest, it's not. I think no, I picked the Germans. Is what I did.
Oh, I think so too.
I did pick the Canadians.
I know exactly who 2 of these people are.
Congratulations to Sarah's friends. And then Iceland happened.
I
and
definitely
then
didn't get this one right.
No. What was the most surprising here?
L'Oreal Legac.
I don't think L'Oreal Legac winning their group
I
is
don't
surprising.
even know
but
who
the
was in their
differential
group.
between L'Oreal Legac and Susie Spiros was surprising. Because Susie
Yes.
Spiros did very badly on their levels and was so far down the list.
I didn't
If
expect
you
them
were
to get
thinking
that
of
low
it
in the rhythm
logically, they
dance.
should have been in the
Up
same
there.
group, which is why I put them in the same group.
That's who I picked then. That's who I picked.
I
I
picked
thought
Susie
they
Spiros.
would get the highest scores in the overall.
They had a good season so far. They had a really good challenger. So I thought they were going to do well.
So are there 2 slides? Oh no, there's more. So many people won this one. This is going to get interesting once we combine the scores, and then
I also definitely picked Jan and Ben over McNamara Spiridonov.
Oh, I think I did that as well.
I did pick Lucy and Theo.
Yeah. I think they have a they know
brand?
what works with them, for their 3. I think it's very them.
They had a couple of seasons where they branched out and did other things. Like there was the one they did a very French kind of free dance.
Oh, I remember that one.
I think it was very kind of similar to kind of PC style.
Yeah.
And I was like, why are you doing that when you're so good at doing this? Like, because they're very good at like up tempo.
They went
kind of
from like
things.
the Bruno Mars medley into
the
that one, and then they repeated their costumes for the following year when they changed to
they
Canada.
did like a Macklemore one.
Yes,
at some point. Didn't they do like a rhythm dance and then they changed it to a free dance or something like that? I can't remember. Something like that.
I think when the thing got changed, the rule got changed or something, they just switched.
They changed some programs around or whatever.
Or when they
and that was
changed
kind of them progressing back into their style again. Yeah, so they've kind of gone back into the area that they were thriving in, which was the best choice for them to do.
And then 66 people guessed right on the women. And Lois is one of them.
I'm one of them. I actually got this one right.
I don't know my name, but I'm not in there. And I
don't know your name?
Gutted.
I don't think you don't know your name. Like, it's your website.
That's like the one thing that's like every year somebody forgets their name and we have to like scramble.
I know what Sarah did, because Sarah, didn't you say you picked Reno?
Yes, and then Yeah, and then Reno unfortunately withdrew. Hope she feels better
For
soon,
anybody
of
who
course.
picked Reno, you will get the short program score. You will not
Yes.
get a complete 0. You will
Thank
get her
you.
short program score.
And you will get a chance to redeem yourself next week.
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
you
it's
will.
not your fault, but
This is not the first time somebody has withdrawn in the middle of competition, or even before a competition in fantasy skating.
Yes, I
And messed
know.
things up a little bit.
I know very well.
Isn't like Daniel Summerhin, I think, withdrew halfway through one once.
yeah.
If I remember
Possibly.
correctly.
And now we have the winner. The winner. I mean,
We can read out the name. Danny G is the worst. That is
Danny
obviously a
G is the
reference
worst
to
one.
the F3
Congrats to them.
Congrats to them. Nobody got the full score, but still.
Damn
But
close.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to everybody to the top 10. And hopefully see you again next week. Let's talk a bit about
Obviously, try and compete every week. Otherwise, you will see a massive drop in your total score.
And I am noticing some names. This name, I think, has been here before.
I know Team Kyra Mina is here almost every year.
Yes.
Shout out them.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Yes, and let's talk about this next week, right? Skate Canada?
Yeah,
correct.
Canada.
Let's talk about who we should look forward to. Give our viewers a little bit of a tease.
Yeah.
I think we should start with the easiest discipline.
Which is?
The ice dance.
Okay.
I'm kidding. So I
mean, we don't know the groups yet, so that depends a bit on the groups.
No, we don't know the groups yet, but we do know that Piper and Paul will be in Group 1.
Yes. I think their score is going to be very interesting because they obviously get boosted at Skate Canada home.
They also haven't performed yet, though.
Exactly.
And we've seen what happened with Chuck and Base this week and with Neil and Fraser.
When you compare that to the scores that Fear and Gibson are getting.
Yeah, they're going to be in Group 1 with them.
Yep. And then Marjorie and Zach's. I don't know if we can really count Budapest scores because
we will count Budapest scores.
We will. It'll be interesting. I mean, they score like that in my heart because I'm a big fan of them. But whether the judges will continue,
they deserve it,
and we love that for them. Harris and Chan are competing back to back.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Makita and Ganara are debuting, which is I'm looking forward to. Big fan of them.
Yes.
They've been withdrawing from a couple of challenges they put their names down for.
Yeah, we don't know what's happening there.
We do know at their end of last season, which was about Canadian nationals, Tyler was injured. So hopefully everything is better now. I think the US dance battle is going to be very interesting at Skate Canada.
I mean, I'm hoping Molly and Yeehor will have made improvements from their challenger because it was not a good result for them, but also they have had a disrupted start to their season because of Molly's I've forgotten what it's called.
Appendicitis?
That. Couldn't remember what the word was. Yeah, because she had appendicitis right before, I think it was Lake Placid, which obviously delayed their season. So hopefully we'll see them do better this week.
And hopefully Caroline and Michael get a better score.
Yes, I like their programs. I thought they were
in the pairs event, I would like to do a quick promo to our last Going Into Detail with Emily and Dispenser.
Yes. We also have one coming out, I assume tomorrow, because it won't be today now, with Camden.
Correct.
So look forward to that. Keep an eye out.
And I would like to
we have. I was going to say we have both Lauren Ethia and Plazas Fernandez doing back-to-back weeks.
Yep.
So that's going to be interesting.
Back-to-backs are harder on, the pair skaters maybe.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
I think hopefully Riku and Ricci will win. I don't see a way.
I don't know how they've been doing since her injury during the summer.
We haven't really heard that much, I don't think.
No, I assume it's going better. I hope it's going better. If that's the case, they should win this. But yeah, obviously we haven't seen them. I do think Efimova Blomart are a potential dark horse for the podium.
I think I agree. I think it would be very interesting.
Conti and Messi have also been having a very good start to this year.
I think the Italian pairs have just been thriving so far.
It's really good to see because obviously Della Monica and Greece were pairs champions for I think 7 times and were the dominant pair for so long. And it's really good to see that pairs are still kind of flourishing despite that dissolution of that partnership. It's going to be really interesting to see him in his new partnership as well. But it's like pairs have really come out sort of strong in the new quad, kind of like building up to 2026 of we're here, we're making a statement.
On to, do you want to go to men or women next?
Now we go men.
Men?
Yeah.
The most unpredictable one, maybe?
Oh, wow, we got Cow doing back-to-backs.
Cow doing back-to-back. Brother Selevko.
Brother Selevko. Baby Selevko and Brother Selevko.
We have Stephen Gogolev. I forgot about him.
Yeah, it's going to be really, like, I'm also excited to see Boyang because we have seen nothing of Boyang. Yeah,
I feel like Shoma. Oh my god, I feel like I'm just reading this for the first time.
I mean, Shoma's obviously done Japan Open.
Yeah,
Dennis, so he's been around.
Lucas.
So
Lucas just won his first challenger medal a week ago.
So are these the ones we should watch out for in fantasy skating, or are just reading out names now?
We're just reading out names, but I mean,
but I think the top
group is probably going to be Shoma, Keegan. Oh, I have to look at scores. It might be Cal, or it might be Matteo. I don't know, or it might be Boyang. We'll see.
I don't think we know of anything that's majorly impacted anyone's training. Stephen Gogolev is a mystery.
Boyang has not been at cricket, which he was potentially supposed to be, but that's all very up in the air. I don't know what's going on with that.
I think Matteo has had very rough short programs so far. He did double footing or just like not landing his quads.
Mm-hmm. He did win the other week, but that wasn't necessarily clean at all.
I think when you look against Shoma, you look against Keegan, it is who is the cleanest.
Pardon me. But yeah, it's going to be it's a very interesting men's field because I wouldn't say there are obvious kind of lower down people.
So you're telling us to guess
stragglers? Again. Well, obviously, always guess. It's men. You never know what men are going to do.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, they've all got. I think everyone there has landed a quad.
At some point in their life.
At some point in their lives. I'd say Dennis has probably landed the least. No offense, Dennis. But yeah, everyone there has got potential.
Oh, that's a really it depends on the day type.
It's really depending on the day.
Yeah.
Onto the women, which I think this women's lineup has changed 5,000 times from the original assignment. Because everyone withdrew. New person come in. Withdrew. New person come in.
Who do you think's the clear winner here?
In the women?
If you had to pick.
Ooh. It might be between Young and Rinka.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's going to be a very interesting women's week.
I think definitely.
What's the name you just said? Sorry, I blanked out.
Young Yu and Rinka Watanabe.
Thank you.
They both have triple axles. I don't remember the last time Young's was called clean.
Also true.
Rinka's is obviously a little bit hit and miss. She obviously landed it at Lombardia.
I think Rinka is a shout.
It could be.
But obviously
I
don't
know
wanna put
everyone is going to be
pressure on
blinded.
them.
Some people will be blinded by the Rika appearance. I am not expecting too much. She will not be in Group 1. No
I'm
offense, not
still
at all to her, but she's
I'm
struggling.
still a bit shocked she's like actually
Coming.
going to compete. In my opinion, she should rest for a season. Like it won't.
I think she should have taken the season off. I know that was monetarily not advisable, but health-wise, it was certainly advisable.
Yeah, it's like we obviously don't know everything that's going into the decision, but from purely a health point of view, I wish she would take the season off. But
I wish she would have done.
There's going to be
what
other reasons
Wagaba
why.
did and what Yuma did, and just said, not able to do it.
I'll try for nationals. Have the other goals in mind.
Lindsay will be an interesting one.
Alexa is also doing a back-to-back. Madeline, I think she should get a pretty decent score.
Madeline should definitely be in the mix.
She did her press conference last week. This week? Oh my god.
What's happening?
I don't know.
There's a rave.
This live stream is going to pick up again.
We hit an hour, and your room is going. You've hit an hour. You have to leave.
That was scary. But yeah, I think Madeline did her press conference pre-skate Canada last week, and she says that she's reworked on a lot of things, and sort of had to readjust her training because obviously last year with the Olympics, it was her first full season. Coming into this year, she's had to sort of relearn. It's the Halloween ghost.
We are setting the mood
really early.
But yeah, she's had to sort of relearn her training, I guess.
I also just thought about this. I'm excited to see Johanna because we haven't seen her yet this year. Even though she tends to be a little bit up and down, especially like she tends to have like a bad short and then a really good free. She has great comeback frees. I'm
excited for Star.
I was going to say I'm excited to see how she's doing now because obviously she had that surgery earlier on in the off season, and she's done a couple of competitions. So it'd be really interesting to see if she can put it all together and do a really good job. Nina also started to finally come up again. Her last competition where she made it back, I think, to bronze at Budapest. I think it was Budapest.
I think so, yeah. It was
because she had a couple of bad competitions. She was doubling a lot or falling on things. Not the same consistent skates we were seeing from her last season where she just suddenly got thrown into the spotlight with really good skates. So yeah, she could be coming back to form now, and one to watch there as well.
I think just going back to dance quickly regarding scores, I'm interested to see how Miku and Tyler score because this will be their first official senior debut.
Yeah, for sure.
And how that compares to sort of the rest of the Canadian field. I am a big fan of Canadian ice dance, unfortunately.
What it will be interesting to see is how their scores kind of compare, especially to Nadia and Peters. Even though I know the scoring is slightly different between junior and senior, but they are obviously the front runners of Canadian ice dancing juniors and the second highest scoring team on the junior circuit after the Mrazeks. So yeah, to see the comparison of those scores, because sometimes you see a bit of a dip when a team first goes senior. Their score won't technically be on par with what they finished off as juniors, and they sometimes slip a little bit. The Browns have been doing that slightly. Yes, the Browns have had that a couple of times.
The single skaters get
not
their
happened to
though. The single skaters get their junior worlds bonus, and then the ice dancers basically work their way through the ranks.
It's weird that happens. It's very strange.
Yeah, but
ice dance is a whole different level of politics.
I think there was a very good tease of next week.
I think we rambled a bit too much.
We did.
I think so too, but I didn't want to interrupt you.
You didn't want to interrupt us.
I think
the ghost tried to interrupt us.
As clueless as before, they would just have to pick randomly.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, wait.
So I think
I feel like we need to be a bit more direct next time on previews. But the thing is, the men's event, it genuinely could be anyone.
Yeah.
you can
Like, you
never
can never
properly
predict
predict these things.
anything. And I
It's a
think you
good
gave
job
us
that
some
there's no
tips.
like sports betting for skating, because God knows
Oh
it
my
would be a
God.
mess.
I mean, you could make a lot of money in the men's event if you won.
True.
Spread it. You just spread it out. I don't know. I don't bet.
No.
I don't know either.
Don't
I have
gamble.
no idea how that
This is
works.
going somewhere
We
else.
do not
We'll
endorse
move on.
gambling.
So yeah, thank you so much everyone for joining.
We
I
will
think
see you. I don't know what the time schedule is next week, but we will see you after
we will
Skate
be
Canada
here.
finishes.
I
We
agree.
will be here.
Next week. The thing is, we're trying to work this around the F1 schedule as well. So who knows?
It will
I
be
mean, I'm
sometime
not
on the Sunday, because everything finishes. Well, the exhibition is on the Sunday, but the skating finishes on the Saturday.
I
So
want to
we will
say
be here on
8
Sunday.
o'clock. I want to say 8 o'clock on the Sunday. It seems about right for what we planned.
Thank you, Evelyn.
Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you, everyone,
And
for
everyone
tuning
else.
in. Thank you, Ruth.
Yes.
Wait, Ruth, you won one of the one of the fantasy skating categories. I
Which
don't
one?
remember which one. I think she's Bolero Baby.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
This is very boring for everybody else, but
I was like, I know that name.
She's celebrating. She's
yes,
it was worth
there
it.
she is. Yes.
There we go.
Yay.
I was like, I know that name.
Congratulations.
Okay, so we'll see you all next week.
But yeah, thank you very much for tuning. If you are just tuning in for the end, please subscribe to our channel. It means a lot. Thank you very much.
This obviously will go up on our YouTube, and you can watch it if you missed parts of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can rewatch it over and over again until your team is very strong and you feel
Please
confident.
subscribe if you haven't already.
Okay.
And if you would like to join our Patreon or Discord, please do. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.